breastfeeding can cause shoulder pain. Hi, I'm William Fuller, certified massage therapist, wellness educator and founder of Vision Body Mind. And many of my clients here in downtown San Francisco, because I do postpartum prenatal massage therapy here, I'm used to a lot of them coming to me complaining with shoulder pain, neck pain, back pain, all these different areas that, because of my expertise with a background in sports science and then looking at structural body work, then it's a little bit easy for me, even though I'm not an expert in breastfeeding, to see where errors could be going wrong and why it's causing back pain. As well as I have a 2-year-old daughter and one on the way, so I'm very familiar with the steps here on working with this and how challenging it can be for you, especially in the beginning. If you're breastfeeding, it can be very frustrating, you're tired or you're recovering. Then all of a sudden we've got this pain thrown in the mix, and for me it's a very unnecessary pain. It's just a case of being able to get a little bit more understanding, making some adjustments, and then there's no need to be in pain anymore. But there can be a little bit of a self-care component involved there as well, but I'm going to cover that today. But basically, let's think of it this way. If the structure is in it, sorry, I don't mean to be throwing my daughter's newborn baby around, but that's pretty effective for making a point. So if you think about the structure in its natural position, shoulders down and back, head up towards the ceiling through here. Now, if we're in this correct alignment, then things aren't out of line there, and it doesn't mean it's not going to put pressure on any kind of joints or put any strain on any kind of muscle tissue. However, thinking about shoulder pain, all of a sudden now we're in this position. And then for a lot of us, and this is what I want you to check in today, just a quick 30 seconds just to see if this is you. Are you rounding your shoulder like this? Which you can see all of a sudden, if I'm standing here, this is okay. The shoulder blade is tucked down and back in through the sides, but now all of a sudden I'm rounding the shoulder like this. It's putting a lot of pressure round in through here. Now, think about what else this is like. Side sleeping, those of us that have newborns and we're very sleep deprived anyway, or you just want to try and get some sleep, so you just kind of curl up as much as possible. And then a lot of us are used to this kind of familiar computer positioning. So what I'm finding really is a lot of this is kind of a straw that breaks the camel's back. And that's why when I work with clients, what I'm trying to do is, with the prenatal stage, I'm trying to prepare them for all of this, helping to release the tension in through there and strengthening certain muscles so they can avoid this. But regardless, what you can start to be doing and thinking about now is, can you now tuck your shoulder blade down and back a little bit? Because you might find that you're just kind of over rounding. You can obviously put some pillows in through here to support you. Or certainly something that now you've got this little piece of information, you can speak to a midwife or a lactation consultant in your network, or someone that you can work with, and just say, hey, look, I'm noticing this shoulder pain. I heard that it might be that my shoulder's rounding out too much. Is there a way of me being able to have my shoulder down and back and have that supported with some pillows while still being able to breastfeed my baby? Now, I appreciate that there's going to be, I know for myself, when my daughter was a newborn, I still wanted to hold around like this anyway, kind of a protective mechanism, even though I knew that it could be leading and causing to back pain. See, this is where I think about an 80-20 rule. So just, I know in the beginning you're maybe breastfeeding, 5, 6, 7, 8 times a day. But the question is, what are you doing outside of those feeding times? So maybe you want to watch out to make sure that you're not holding your phone and rounding in this position. You're not doing anything that's going to be continuing this kind of rounding, the same as maybe you could sleep on your back, which you've not been able to do for a while if you just got a newborn. So there's some things to be thinking about here, a little bit more outside just kind of this frustration and this pain coming in through here. So there's other areas that could be causing pain. This could be if you're feeling the shoulder pain in through here. If you're feeling it in the front of the shoulder here, it might be because a bit of bicep tendonitis in through there. So any kind of stretching that's going to kind of open out in through here is going to help through that. You can find a lot more kind of free exercises over at visionbodymind.com. I'm not going to go through them today because I know you're very busy. But just some things to start to think about if you're feeling pain in through here. It might be that you're over contracting the pec in through here. So again, getting a nice stretch in through the chest here is going to be helpful. So just a few things, because over at Vision Body Mind, what we're trying to focus on here is how do we work with the cause of problems, not just always treating the symptoms. And it's very important for me, after recently going through having a newborn and a young daughter, that we try and reduce the stress levels as much as possible, especially for postpartum depression. So one thing I'm dedicated to try and help work with here is releasing this physical pain that new mums and dads are getting. And it's really just kind of down to biomechanics, and they're not necessarily having the education on how to work with that themselves. So it's pretty simple, but it's the knowing, of course, like everything else. Okay, great. Well, I don't want to take up too much more of your time. I'm sure you've got some feeding to run off to, or some poopy diapers to go change. But if you do get a chance, please head over to visionbodymind.com, and over there you're going to find a lot more free resources on how you can learn a little bit more about your biomechanics, exercises that's going to help you relieve any pain or tension there. And I'm also excited to say that there's a 5 free-day posture challenge. It's less than 5 minutes a day. They're like mini guided meditations. And the idea is to get you back down into the body. That one in particular is focused on the head. So that could be very interesting for you to work with that, especially if you're getting any kind of neck and shoulder pain. So the 5 free-day challenge, the idea is to get yourself back into the body. And then that cues you into your biomechanics to kind of get you out of this loop of doing these poor biomechanics while you're holding and working with your baby. And like I say, ultimately, when you go back to work, or go back to kind of a corporate job or sitting in front of a computer, because being a parent is work still, then you're obviously going to want to work with that as well. So getting in the body is going to be very useful. Okay, great. Well, thank you very much for sharing your time with me here today. If you found this information useful, then please do subscribe by clicking on the subscribe button below, or feel free to share this on social media if you think that another mum or parent would find this information helpful. Okay, great. Well, here's to living a healthy, active, happy life, and enjoy the rest of your day.